Good morning. Let's go ahead and take a deep breath. Sending lots of love. I hope you guys are all doing well today. A couple things before I start. I'm going to roll the die as well today. I had watched Sam the Illusionist yesterday, or actually this morning. It's his latest video, and he talks about the underwater locations for the grays. Again, he brought that up before, but I had definitely got an underwater port at the port of Tallinn, Estonia. It was sometime this past year. I can't find the video. I found a more recent video about Tallinn, Estonia, following that up, but not the original one. So I wanted to find the name of the salon at the port. But I definitely at that time had gotten an underwater hideout there. And there were some other things that had come up around Tallinn, Estonia as well. So I just wanted to put it out there. I think there was something else too. Now I can't remember, but that's okay. It'll come up if I'm supposed to tell you. So I'm going to show you the pictures for the reads today. Just give me 1 second. Okay, so we have the union read. And again, for those of you not familiar with my reads, it's a 4D, 5D, 6D read. 4D, 5D, 6D. The Divine Feminine left, the right is the Masculine, the bridge between here. Incoming Divine Feminine, outgoing Divine Masculine. The underlying energies and the closing energies here. And then for the Twin Flame read, this is the basic read. Again, the SIRIAN Starseed deck. And the full read in front of you with all the clarifiers is here. Okay. Oh, something else. This is what I was supposed to tell you. Yesterday, I was guided to put 3 ribbons around my tree, you know, like the yellow ribbon around the old oak tree. So instead of, for that purpose, the same kind of thing for the Divine Masculine Warriors, to put, I was getting the colors between magenta and violet and gold as well. So it's really the colors representing the third eye and up. So any of those colors but 3 ribbons, and I was guided to put 3 stones on my steps, coming up my front steps. So I thought that'd be a really cool way also to like mark your home as far as being a starseed in the ascension process. So let me know if that resonates with you. And here we go with the read. So first I'm going to roll the dice, see what comes up as far as the energies for you guys. Okay, we have the number 2. Number 2. So that's one-on-one relationships has been coming up as well. And then Uranus is coming up, so sudden events. Yeah. And then we have Capricorn. Okay, so there may be a Capricorn that's significant to you that's coming up today. All right, so Capricorn, Uranus, and number 2. And of course, Capricorn is Saturn, and Uranus is sudden changes and Aquarius energy, more of a detached energy, and the Capricorn. And the Capricorn and Aquarius are right next to each other. And actually I just got the Capricorn Aquarius conjunction because that is the, when we had the Star of Bethlehem in the conjunction in December, that was going from the Capricorn conjunction into the Aquarian conjunction. So there's an energy between those two coming up with the energies just now. And Capricorn and Aquarius are very different energies. So it's kind of like a clash there. You know, because Capricorn's very responsible, very methodical, very business-oriented. Aquarius is very idea-oriented and very detached and not necessarily responsible. Yeah, so let's see where that goes, see what comes up with that. So, we have the union read first. And today is the 31st. This read was done yesterday for today. The 30th and 31st energies. So yesterday was the day of the 30 and the 4 of Wands union energy, as well as the 40, which is the Page of Cups, which is the 30 is a 3, right? But it's the 4 of Wands card. So both the 3 and the 4 energies come up there with the 30, but it's the union of the reunion of the Cups energy coming together, and then the 4 of Wands, which is the stability of the union, the home of the union, and then the 40 of the Page of Cups. So today is the 31 of the expansion. That can be conflict, but it also could be the pursuit of happiness and games and sports events and the pursuit of happiness. And the day adds up to today 41, which is the Ace of Cups, which definitely came up in some reads I was doing yesterday, just pulling cards randomly. The Ace of Cups was coming up in the center of the read. So very profound love energy today, along with expanding of that love. So the union read was done at 12:28 yesterday in the afternoon. For today's energy, we had the Great Wheel was the underlying energy, the 9 of Swords was in the middle of the read, and then the 3 of Pentacles was the final card. So the destiny of Adam Ant, hiding underground away from the light, suffering in silence, or perhaps dealing with a sister, with Earth's protection, the buried stone, the rock. And again, that takes us back to the one dimension, the first dimension, making its way to the sun. You know, the rock being deeply buried and eventually coming out, just like something stuck inside your body, you know, that wasn't supposed to be there would make its way out of the skin. The sun, S-O-N, to the sun, S-U-N, the rainbow bridge, completed all the way around the planet, protecting atom to ant, to Adam to ant, A-U-N-T, from the wrong kind of exposure. The secret dungeon at Trinity, the gingerbread house with triangular points out front. That's the way the cookie crumbles. And that was interesting too, because after I got home, I had put all my plants together for watering. And the small plant I had, the container it was in, the outer layer was crumbling off of it. I literally had to hold it over the trash can to slough off the layers that were crumbling off. So the outer skin or outer layer exfoliated naturally to expose the workplace here. The incoming divine feminine was transition, the 6 of Wands and the Ace of Swords. Transition of dark to light around the world, cosmic Gaia, the divine feminine leading the way through dolphin Lemurian wisdom of keeping the truth just below the surface with a place marker. And that alludes to the grid holders, right? The energy of the grid above the earth that actually matches our grid point here on earth as a human being. The truth just below the surface with the place marker, magenta and emerald orbs marking the spot with 3 dots around it in a holding pattern. The divine feminine underwater, the divine masculine on land, the divine feminine transitioning, 6 of face of orbs, or Vogue energy was coming up here. The lovers in the face of thoughts and words, or good face, transcends what is spoken. Dolphin play, putting sonar signal out, ready to play ball. The 4D here is the Ace of Wands, the King of Wands, and the Page of Swords. The Divine Feminine ignited, inspired to new passion and creativity. The Divine Masculine at widow's peak in the snow and ice, reaching the light. She toying with his fire, he luminescent in her light. Bridging with the King of Wands shaman, that 70s guy, the sun at the left shoulder and the stone at the right. At one with the ancestors, after wind and the stone, right, coming up from the first density into the second and third is the human. The story of the beginning and the light that nourished the stone. Now the human rising to fourth density or 4D. The 5D here is the Seven of Wands, the Nine of Swords, and the Queen of Pentacles. The Divine Feminine Phoenix rising, due to her own heat and flame. Above the drama, the Middle East belly dancer with flame in hand, rising above the 3 to 4D drama, the hot air balloon without the balloon, the solar plexus chakra focus, and again that's the yellow energy of confidence, merging polarity by transmuting and alchemizing drama into confidence, as well as the confidant coming up. The Divine Feminine to Divine Masculine, that 1-to-1 energy which came up with the 2 with the dice, together and apart, etheric and grounded, dark and light at 12:59, which is the Hangman and the 5 of Swords. And the fight, you know, the inner war within. So we have the, at 1 o'clock on the dot here, so a lot of source energy backing up the 1, and the train is blowing their horn right now. 1 is the Magician. The Divine Masculine, it was just, oh wow. The time on the clock right here when I just looked was the same exact time as the time on my clock, 11:54. And it just turned 12 on this clock. So 11:54 is Justice and the Page of Swords. So there's a message of justice here, big time. The Divine Masculine with the Queen of Pentacles. The Montague losing coin. And I was just getting that parallel to losing face, right? Saving face and losing face. The Queen of Pentacles, the Divine Masculine's on the Divine Masculine's side. The Montague, and the Montague and Capulets always came up as the 10 of Pentacles family and the 10 of Cups family. The Montagues being the 10 of Pentacles family, losing coin, or Kohan, because coin is another way of spelling Kohan. And that also references the co-pilots, with a stiff upper lip and chinny chin chin, bridging by sitting underground level in a ditch between roots. Rainy dark days merging the desert and the jungle, which references Atlantis and Lemuria, rising with the heat and sinking into the mud. Not suffering in silence, because after all, this is the 6D. The sister, or ending the nightmare. Good night, Mary, which was interesting that came up because I just, said goodbye to my mother, Mary. Into that good night, the 5D being the access point to all the upper realms, a recovery zone from 4D purgatory, or your time of purging on the 4D bridge. The 6D, or that was the 5D rather, not the 6D. The 6D here is the 7 of Cups, 8 of Pentacles, and the 3 of Cups. The Divine Feminine Stairway to Heaven, the Spiral Ascension, which came up in the read yesterday. The Divine Feminine Stairway to Heaven, the Spiral Ascension, leading the way continuously, the Divine Masculine Reunion coming together and bridging with the 8 of Pentacles, lining the steps with crystals and ribbons round the old oak trip. I wrote trip instead of tree. Magenta to purple and violet ribbons round any front yard tree or bush. So that's the energy I was getting there. The Divine Feminine heating up to rise and ascend higher and higher around the Bend, which Bend was the city I was just in. The Divine Masculine found the light as money fades in the 5D, coming together in joy in 6D reunion. The bridge being the King of Wands shaman, waiting patiently for the Sun, S-U-N, and the S-O-N Sun to rise and line the steps with crystals. The outgoing Divine Masculine is the 6 of Cups up, the 6 of Cups, the 4 of Cups, and then the Reason, which is the Emperor. Big hugs here with the inner and outer children loving each other, focusing on reaching the other side, following the North Star, Sirius, and the Capricorn Aquarius star of Bethlehem. I forgot I wrote this here. Forming a triangle of the central sun, the divine masculine, and the divine feminine with reason. And that's so funny. I wrote this before I listened to Sam about the triangular light on June 20th. It was either the 20th or the 22nd, regarding the triangular light that would come from the sun and the moon. And here I wrote this before I listened to that. So again, referencing that Capricorn Aquarius star Bethlehem that we talked about in the beginning of the video, following the North Star, Sirius, and the Capricorn Aquarius star of Bethlehem, forming a triangle of the central sun, the divine masculine, and the divine feminine with reason, tossing the false hand and collecting the fourth cup instead by triangulating 3 cups and 3 crystals, 3 ribbons and 3 crystals. And then, since there's 6 there with the 3 and 3, 7, 8, 9, which is the 5D or the third trine together. So again, that was tossing the false hand and collecting the 4th cup instead by triangulating. So we're tossing, like the Emperor's the number 4. So it's about tossing the 4th, right? Tossing the false hand of the Emperor, the 4th. Collecting the 4th cup instead, right? Because the Emperor is not about cups and heart. He's about business and control. So the 4th cup instead by triangulating 3 cups and 3 crystals, or paralleling that, 3 ribbons and 3 crystals. And then the third triad, the 7, 8, 9 together. So 1, 2, 3 is the 3D, 4, 5, 6 the 4D, and then 7, 8, 9 is the 5D. The children grounding and integrating the father in co-creating, or the basement being the creative space, underground, well-grounded, and crystal caves are coming up here. So the divine feminine had Libra and Scorpio on her side and no court cards. The divine masculine had Aries on his side, or the Emperor, and the Page of Swords and the Queen of Pentacles on his side. And then between them was the King of Wands shaman. The number that came up from this union read was 55, which is the Ace of Swords, the truth, Excalibur. And the horizontal pillars came up as 21, 16, and 18, which is the world, the tower, and the moon. And then the vertical pillars came up as 6, 1, 15, 17, 3, 6, 4, and 3, which are the lovers, the magician, the devil, the star, the 10 of wands, the 3 of cups. Or it can be the Empress and the 10 of swords and the Empress, or the 10 of wands with the Emperor and the Empress here. So there's an energy here of the world experiencing the lunar eclipse in Sagittarius. But here Pisces, Scorpio, and Cancer all came up. So all 3 water signs came up in the horizontal axis, becoming the vertical axis. And then the other direction, the energy was about a risky, codependent star with the Empress, lovers, coming together in truth and triumph, or lovers magic with Capricorn and Aquarius, Virgo and Gemini, the Atlas reunion of truth and triumph, the Atlas energy between the Emperor and the Empress also coming up here, of the weight of the world, and then the truth being the culmination here. So that was the union read. And I cut the SIRIAN Starseed deck for the Twin Flame read at 207, where it turned to 8 right at that moment, 207 to 208. And the 2 of the High Priestess, the 7 of the Chariot, the 8 of the Strength card, but also the dance between the masculine and the feminine. And then at 214 to 17, as I was clarifying, JR of Orbs came up. So whether that references JR from Dallas or a junior of Blind Men and Orphans or Thoughts and Words, or someone who's not quite accomplished in that respect or in the swords category. And then RBS came up as well. And I always, for some reason, with RBS get run base hits. But I guess the S today is coming up as a slam. That's interesting. I never got that before. So run base slam. It's like, you know, instead of just coming home, it's a slam, you know, assured to be coming home. So I finished clarifying at 234, which is the 2 of the High Priestess, 34 of the 8 of Wands, which is that energetic exchange back and forth, the arrows of love, a lot of communication and travel, or just that energy back and forth in a quick-paced manner. We had the Alchemy. Alchemy is the Temperance card, Transition, which is the Death card, Shadow, which is the Devil, Starseed, which is the Fool, Reflection, which is the Hermit energy. And before the read, Justice and Guidance came up. Guidance is the Hierophant card. And then after the read, Ascension, which is the World. We had 1 wand, 4 swords, and 1 pentacle here. No cups in the main deck of this read. We have the Page of Swords and the Knight of Swords. So that could be siblings, the Page and Knight, or just a lot of messages here with the Page and Knight of Swords. And before the read, the King of Pentacles came up. And after the read, the Knight of Wands came up. So very masculine and childlike or message-oriented court cards here. As far as the numbers, we had double ones and triple tens. So obviously the new beginnings are major here with triple tens, keeping your vibration very high. They're really emphasizing keeping that high vibration. You know, we talked about making sure you're in a good mood before you go to sleep at night, and just in general, coming back to center, keep coming back, keeping that high vibration. But the 11 also of Justice, which is truth and balance. We also had the number 34 significant here as the 8 of Wands again, the energetic exchange between the masculine and feminine. We also had 13 of the Death card and 410, which is 0 behind 41. Again, that Ace of Cups energy of new love and self-love, spiritual love. And in a lesser sense, we also have 110, which is 0 behind 11. Again, emphasizing justice, truth, and balance. But also we had 12 of the Hangman, 23 of the King of Wands, who came up already, 45 of the 5 of Cups, and 510, which is 0 behind 51, which is the King of Swords. The code line was all about forgiveness and personal growth. And the number on the code line was 1 and 1, which again brings up the 11 and 2, which the dice were 2. So 11-2 seems to be very significant today. Truth and balance regarding the one-on-one relationship, regarding forgiveness and personal growth. Forgiveness was broken up into 4G and Venice, and then personal growth is broken up into personal and GR oath, which we'll get into that as I'm doing the meanings of the code line. So the message from the code line, very significant, revolving around the Page of Orbs, or the Seeker of Orbs, which is the message, which came up on the clock, 11:54. So obviously those two things are super important today, 11 of Justice and the 54 of the Page of Swords, the message or the messenger, or that little light, oh mine. So the messages here on the code line were coming out regarding Mount Atlas, so the Atlas Mountains in Africa, but also Mount Atlas daisy was coming up, which is a type of daisy. When it's sunny, it's open. When it's not sunny out, it closes up and shows a whole different color because there's purple on the outside of the flower, where the flower is actually white with yellow in the middle. And here's that solar plexus coming up again. So there's the actor and poison coming up as a definition, and taking the high road, but also 309, and perhaps a vitamin you might want to take is threonine, because that was coming up for a specific reason, which will come up again before I'm finished these here. So take the high road in a race to balance 1-to-1 the Page of Swords, after death, the forgiveness and personal growth. The empty actor, and again, Jen McCarty always brings up the empty vessel, that we want to empty our vessel to allow the energy to flow through us. And here the empty actor, or poison or venom, coming up in the 309 race, or the high road race, to balance the human and ace the Page of Swords, the message of that little light, adding forgiveness and personal growth. So some of the things that came up, I was guided to the 309 race, so I looked that up online to see if anything came up, or 309 competition. And the Corgi racing and sports cars came up, 309 competition with Aston Martin, 321 1966 Monte Carlo Rally Mini, 310 Corvette, 153 Bluebird, which stood out for me because before I went on my trip, and I forgot to tell you this yesterday, but before I went on my trip, I'd been asking for a blue feather. And the last time I asked for a blue feather, I showed you a reflection of a bluebird in my sink in a rainbow. And this time when I went on my trip at the service in spreading my parents' ashes, the Stellar Jay, which I wasn't familiar, is such a beautiful bird. It's not really actually a blue jay. It's in the category with the crows and ravens and the magpies. The Stellar Jay, but it looks like a big blue jay, and they're just beautiful. And when we arrived to the water, the falls where we were going to spread my parents' ashes, we saw the blue jay. They welcomed us, just the one. And then when we hiked up further to the spot where we were going to release the ashes, another blue jay, the same type of bird, but a different bird because the coloring was slightly different, was sitting on the tree the whole time we were talking. And we were there for quite a bit. And it was really funny because as my son spoke and my daughter spoke, the bird would do different things. It was like answering our questions or telling us certain things. And then as we were finished spreading the ashes, all of my siblings had left the spot and I was the last one to go up. So I turned around to take one last look at the water. And there was just a stick sticking out of the ground where we were. And the Stellar Jay, the first one, not the one that was at the ceremony, but the first one we saw when we came, arrived right on that stick as I looked back and landed on the stick. And then as I went to take a picture of it, it flew away. And that's the picture I posted the other day. So the blue jay was very significant here. And the blue feather that I had asked to find, well, they gave me 2 whole birds of feathers. So I just wanted to share that with you because it was really beautiful. So the 153 Bluebird here as a car coming up was significant for me. And then 314, which is Pi, Ferrari, Berlinetta came up, and 218 DB4, 324 Marcos, and 304 S Mercedes, 300 SL, in original boxes, so I assume they're matchbox cars or something, and 227 Competition Mini Cooper, G to E boxes, P to G. Also that came up around the 309 competition was CrossFit 309s in Battle of the Ballpark, Peoria.com, and Inwin.com. 309, it said lighten up. The 309's front panel is equipped with 144 stunning addressable LEDs and 12 built-in light nodes or modes. I guess I was supposed to say nodes there though. But again, the 144 coming up with the 309. And then another site that came up was legislation from government in the UK, 2000 number 309 competition, Act 1998, and the order was 2000. Also inline 309 Hatfield, PA came up, which is roller hockey, skating, derby, and indoor sports. And then auctionnet.com, which sold bicycles, amongst other things. And then arthritis and Arthur came up. And I just watched Halston, which, someone acts as Liza Minnelli was coming in. So, of course, Arthur is Liza Minnelli as well. So she was coming up, and Arthur, the name Arthur. And then arthritis also coming up. And then RR Racing. It's rr-racing.com. Motorsports, engineering, and tuning was coming up, which was significant because yesterday when I brought you my read, something about using your skills of science and engineering was coming up. And here this was revolving around the Lexus car. RichmondRaceway.com came up, as well as RR equals race and ethnicity codes for health.newyork.gov. And so Mount Arthritis, and again, the threonine was coming up. I don't know if that's good for arthritis or not, but you might want to look that up because threonine is coming up along with arthritis. So threonine is spelled just like 309, okay? Threonine. So see if it's good for arthritis because that might be something, might be helpful to you or someone you know. Or empty Arthur. To the nth degree, our ace to ace or 1-to-1 one-to-one energy, again, that number 2 coming up of the one-to-one, without a space between, right? Not leaving space between, just merging together. The seeker of thoughts and words, the blind men and orphans, the advantage of the name. And that was so interesting because the movie I just watched with the miracle, what did I tell you it was? The Blue Miracle. So there's the blue again. But in the movie, The Blue Miracle, there were orphans in that movie. And here the orphans are coming up. The seeker of thoughts and words, the blind men and orphans. And they talked about in the movie how, because the one guy was just calling them orphans, and the orphan said, you know, we have names. And here we have literally the blind men and orphans' advantage in having a name to give, having fire, the creation, the shaping, the fashion of Venice coming up, or to win, defeat, and overcome. Personal, GR oath, or personal silent oath. The death thrill, or perhaps the death trill when someone dies. The high road race of expanding and contracting, acing the seeker of orbs, that Page of Swords message of your little light, the message, the name, the thrill of victory and the agony of defeat. Personal silent oath. And then the M, or Imana, as the Pleiadians call God. The M for the time being, there and then, take the high road. Our one-to-one seeker advantage, or seeker of the advantage, or name, the silent sonal oath of forgiveness and creating a win-win, or 1-1 situation. So we start this read with the Alchemy card upright, which is the Temperance card, and it was upright. So there's a lot of patience and higher love here, taking one step at a time, flowing back and forth. And beneath that, so here's the Alchemy card here on the top, and then we have the mini cards, and then 5 down from the bottom up start the King of Pentacles upright, Justice reversed, the 2 of Pentacles upright, and the 10 of Wands reversed, along with the Guidance card upright, which is the Hierophant. The King of Pentacles is upright with injustice of juggling or performing and dumping a load, a burden, or responsibilities, or confessing with guidance, the Hierophant, marriage, religion, establishment, or Taurus, and alchemizing the pit in the stomach, and again going to the solar plexus. The Confidence, the merging in the middle, the yellow to green, the golden blue rays, right? Because we have the heart is green, and the solar plexus is yellow. But we get to the green by the blue and the yellow coming together. And the blue rays are called the golden blue rays, which then becomes the green. So taking the solar plexus and the throat chakra and merging them into the heart. And then the golden blue rays and the Stellar's J came up. Black and blue, purple and white. The 6 of Cups reversed, falling out between 2 soulmates or family members or children. A negative past, or just having difficulty with children, or them having issues. Perhaps depression coming up, or arrogance, and the need to heal and shine and dream, to be patient angels. Post-war apologies needed, with clarity, new information to release imprisonment of blissful weakness, vulnerability, right? A lot of men think that's a weakness to feel vulnerable, right? Doesn't feel good to be in that state. But it's also allowance to relinquish control. Ego death, not depression, and lack of stardom is the strength needed to be vulnerable and not have all the answers. The patient angel, mixing and merging one step at a time, magically no longer confused, all tools on board in uncomfortable energies at home or in union, dumping emotional attachments, knowing the one, not gambling on it, the lovers, Gemini or Gabriel, mediating the dumping or purging of the Page of Wands reverse Sagittarius, pushing the Holy Grail to the limit to meet the Holy Communion on their way up. So it's like lowering the feminine's energy in order to meet the masculine's energy on its way up. The Holy Grail being pushed down, which this was part of a read, I think it was 2 years ago. I did on a plane, and it gave me a story about Jesus and Mary Magdalene. Some of you who've been watching me from the beginning might remember that. And that in that read, they showed me coming into union that the Ace of Cups would be pushed down, the Holy Grail would be pushed down in order for the masculine, the Jesus energy, the Holy Communion, to rise up and meet them there into the cup and then turn over together. The Holy Communion on their way up, making the mountain a molehill, very small, streaming 1111, and the King of Wands reversed, and which is the shaman energy in this deck, and the little lizard falling off their platform to reveal the lovers in their authenticity, completely naked, dazed and confused, reorienting from the mountain perspective, the burning bush and the apple tree, the fall and winter, the spring to summer, the rise and fall of the year. Libra reversed, Taurus and Sag and Virgo and Gemini all upright, Aquarius reversed and Leo reversed here. And by the way, 1111 came up, which also Sam the Illusionist had said that that date this year is hugely significant. Could be the most important date of your life, actually, is the way he put it. And that was some videos ago. It wasn't a recent video from this week. After the Tower, post-event cleanup, awakening to the Divine Feminine in the 5D, in vacuuming process, JC rising when world is upside down, Scorpio and Capricorn and Pisces and the Queen of Pentacles all reversed, or all in one. Little feet or piggy toes, protected by nature and ballet shoes. No need to worry, or awakening to negativity of a Scorpio and Pisces both reversed, when the Queen of Pentacles reversed mother is not doing so hot. So again, reflecting that the children don't do well when the mother's not doing well. The engagement comes up here, and beneath that it was worth waiting for, confessing only after caught, the evil empress using her feminine wiles to get what she wants, at home swinging on a tree or catching them in the act, closing the distance gap, uncomfortable, but no longer avoiding the dance, in an all-business relationship no longer pretending they don't feel what's going on. Feet intertwined in the circle of trust, keeping flames on the outside, but actually they have no control over that. And feet and knees don't match anyway, that are in the circle. At 355, which is the 3 of the Empress and the 55 of the Truth, the Excalibur, the Ace of Swords. At 356, which is then the 2 of Swords, being in your knowing and keeping to yourself, or being in your knowing and pretending not to know so you don't have to deal with it. No longer willing to step on hearts just because they're laying around, and they can. No more dancing around hearts and hidden desserts. The Empress or Taurus watching and plotting manipulation, using her sexuality to get what she wants. Or the mother controlling, this is a mother or wife type of energy, controlling the masculine by tying his hands behind his back and not allowing him to have any of his own decisions. Or someone got caught around the mulberry bush, a tree or a swing. And the need for compassion here, 99. Lots of compassion. And you might have to, reach really deep for this compassion here, with the synchronicities below that, which is 87, which is the reflection of the 78, which is the culmination of the deck, the ideal family, the 10 of Pentacles. So the synchronicities reflecting that dream family. No peace in injustice, or for Libra reversed, could be a mother or grandmother trying to control sexual kids as well, but coming from an empty relationship, and kids are feeling it. So it's like the parents aren't empowered because they know they can't preach to their children because their relationship isn't doing well. And so how can they fault their children for acting out and expressing what they're feeling? So withholding or saving or turned down for a loan, no options but to swallow pride, or choking on words when the Hierophant's around or on top, or blowing smoke up their butt. Uncomfortable energies in not walking away, while the Knight of Swords, messenger of truth, is rushing in to help recover those left behind. Or the Knight of Swords upright and the 8 of Cups reversed, merging to the middle, the 2-man horse, where the front man gets all the glory, showing a little leg, and the rear doing all the painful work in hiding with a tale to tell, no longer putting up with emotional messes and poop in the yard, and therefore then walking away. Aquarius reversed and Taurus upright here, recovering from loss, destitution, illness, or injury, or exile, patient with the King of Wands reversed and the Page of Pentacles reversed, in the avoid dance, uncomfortable staying in each other's presence, compassion needed, in no peace or no peaceful place to go in this unjust situation. The Knight of Wands is upright, excited by sunshine, Leo, kids or pets or vacation, released from or releasing the Knight of Pentacles and Queen of Cups, both reversed here, to be sovereign, or to an independent mother or friend to take care of them perhaps, implementing a plan, defenseless to energies or being ganged up on or without an excuse, for the Page of Cups reversed and the Page of Wands upright. So that could be two children again, but also can reference two messages, one of rejection and one of excitement and new passion. The Page of Cups reversed is vulnerable energy to the Page of Wands upright's passion, like a schoolboy who's excited to go on a date, and the parent needing to be neutral and let them make their own decisions and or mistakes. The recent past here is the Ace of Pentacles upright, an offer of a new life, with temptation waving before dawn. Oh, which is another message I forgot to tell you. Temptation waving before dawn, or deception or Capricorn upright and Cancer reversed, which are on the same axis, with the Emperor reversed, recovering, with the King of Swords upright, uncomfortable, with the King of Cups upright, defenseless, to shame and guilt of the Page of Pentacles upright, student or opportunity, with the Queen of Wands reversed, negative influence, overindulging in drink, socializing, or gossip, the Diamond in the rough, exposing self to the elements, addictions, codependencies, and bad influences, a need to be patient with the recovery process, and learning how to shield yourself at 433, which is the Emperor and the 33 of the Christ vibration, the Seven of Wands, standing up for yourself. It is 1224 on the clock, which is the Hangman and the Queen of Wands. And she's coming up reversed here. And it was just 4147 as well, which is the Ace of Cups and the Seven of Cups of seeing synchronicities. So what I forgot to tell you here is that before dawn came up, when I told you about landing on my flight, because I was watching City of Angels, and the movie finished the moment we touched ground in the plane when I came home to Philadelphia. And when I opened my iPad to see the time, it was 1:44, but it was actually, hadn't switched yet, the time difference. It was actually 4:44. So both the 1:44 and 4:44 came up at the same time that I landed at the end of City of Angels. But what I forgot to tell you was I had done a reading for fun with Sam the Illusionist, because he had offered to bring up to tell you who your past lives were in a certain timeline, and then your soul name. So I thought that would be kind of fun to see what he comes up with my soul name. But at the end of City of Angels, it says for dawn. And Sam had told me my soul name was the Dawn. So it was like, that moment was so profound for me. I just wanted to add that so you'd know, because it was very cool. So actually that's a plug for Sam as well, if you want to check him out. He's a wonderful energy, actually. Okay, so at 433, which is the Emperor and the Christ vibration there, and the foundation being the transition card, the death card upright, and escaping the Queen of Wands reverse, which is a very negative energy, unless she's just tired or sick, but it's still a lack energy. But she could be pissed off and out of control there. Choosing a new path and letting go to fix things up. Dumping responsibilities on the Queen of Wands reversed, and or confessing to her. The central energy here is the Ace of Wands reversed again. Frustrated, uninspired, unable to conceive of or conceptualize. A split, a lie, a divide and conquer. The need for clarity and truth regarding the 5D connection. A rest, a break, a meditation, prayer with the King of Cups upright, which is also unconditional love. And sunshine, kids, pets, or vacation, to lay someone to rest. Or Leo upright, Scorpio upright, and the King of Wands reversed, with the Knight of Wands upright, swallowing their pride to come forward, or with Aquarius in their chart. All of this destined. So there's a lot of people involved here. And by the way, in that recent past energy, we had the Emperor reversed, and then the King of Swords upright, and the King of Cups upright. And then the Page of Pentacles was next to the Queen of Wands reversed there. So the three men were in the same line there, and then the Page of Pentacles with the Queen of Wands reversed were in a line above them. So it's kind of like a different storyline, but playing out at the same time. The three men dealing with each other, and that could be a father and two sons as well. But all destined. The challenge being here, the Page of Swords reversed, which was a main card for this read, that energy of the 54. And when the Page of Swords is reversed, it's about negative self-talk. It's the most immature card in the deck, right? It's the kid who curses or just mouths off or won't be quiet. They keep talking and talking and talking when people ask them to be quiet. It's the energy of spying and lying. It's the energy of having perhaps mental issues, perhaps dealing with bipolarism or dealing with ADHD and being unfocused. But not in the Page of Wands energy, which is physically all over the place. You know, the Page of Swords reverse is very much about mental energy and words. So there's negative self-talk here, the challenge being for the twins, spying, lying, and rumors. And then again, bipolar might be coming up as well as ADHD, as well as other things. Schizophrenia could come up as well. Or a child with a mouth, unhappy not getting their way, with new information out by a patient angel, Sagittarius, or a higher love, taking one step at a time. The Queen of Swords reversed here too. This could be a mother and child or an older sister with a younger sibling with issues at work, hiding, not talking, or verbally abusive. The wounded warrior surrendering. And the Queen of Swords too she can be verbally abusive, but maybe she's not normally verbally abusive, but she might just get angry for a second and snap or cut somebody off, right? The wounded warrior surrendering to the third party or bad influences in a losing battle or to end a conflict. The Page of Pentacles hurting themselves, allowing abuse by others and self, lying or going through a harsh split or divide, putting it all out there to touch and be manhandled. The Queen of Cups reversed, patient of or with the King of Cups upright, or she's putting it all out there and he's the patient angel up before dawn, or with Cancer in his chart, or foolish deception ending a battle with X, horny devil or Capricorn with mark on their head, grounding and integrating the wounded warrior in surrender, or a codependent X who's bored and now surrenders or gives up fighting with them. Now is in the now moment is the shadow web, the separation, heart stress, or something rained out, or a disappointment in implementing a plan without excuse and defenseless to the Queen of Cups upright, with the Hermit reversed and the High Priestess reversed, or Virgo reversed and Pisces reversed, recovering in energetic exchange or a lot of back and forth about a fall or foolish behavior. Virgo and Pisces reversed, or Capricorn and Cancer, and you notice they're both on each other's axis. So like Virgo and Pisces are opposites and Capricorn and Cancer are opposites on the astrological axis. And then Aries reversed also came up here. The Page of Pentacles stuck with fighting bulls in a split, the Devil or codependent or Capricorn getting over a loss or regret, with the Empress upright and the Magician upright, not sharing with or about divine lovers, affection, or Gemini or twins. The Page of Swords reversed and the Knight of Swords reversed could be mouthy kids, lying and spying, or verbally abusive, or spreading rumors. And Sagittarius with an attitude, or someone who drinks or makes potions, and the Hermit upright, missing their flame, coming out about it, or unfair and imbalanced situation. Dumped, duped, overwhelmed. The Knight of Cups reverse may be jealous or insincere, moody or feeling rejected, in disconnect or at a distance, destined to divine marriage, or breakup, or to be at a distance with Libra and Taurus, inequitable relationship without reunion, but offering a new life and being ignored at 458, which is the Emperor and the Four of Swords. Again, that's that 5D connection. Or thinking long and hard about it, or feeling sorry for self. Soon as the Starseed reversed, knocked for a loop by a huge download, the Knight of Swords reversed, holding their tongue between Patient Angel and the Page of Wands, who's excited by sovereign or sovereignty, overworking or not working out, with the Page of Pentacles being seen by Hermit or Doctor or Wise One or Therapist, or breaking up a fight or disagreement between the Page of Pentacles upright and the Knight of Pentacles reversed, which definitely can be siblings here. And we have the Sovereign too, so there could be up to 3 siblings here. The Sovereign, the Page of Pentacles, and the Knight of Pentacles are all right here, but the Knight is reversed. And we also have the Page of Wands there, who's excited about the sovereign or about their own sovereignty. And the Knight of Swords is reversed right before the situation. So the sovereign is between the Page of Wands upright and the Page of Pentacles upright. They're all upright. The Knight of Pentacles reversed is stuck or hiding behind the Hermit or Virgo, who spoke too soon or choked or needs to swallow their pride to get over loss or regret with the Hierophant, religion, establishment, marriage, or Taurus. Aries is reversed, Virgo upright, Aquarius reversed, and Taurus upright here. Could also be kids taking SATs or ACT tests and getting scored or reviewed, or graduation for some, and nervous to go up front in front of people. The twin flames here, seeing themselves as the Three of Swords, searching deep emotions of separation and light, dissatisfied with the Page of Swords reversed, and the Queen of Cups reversed, and the Page of Cups all here on that main card, the Three of Swords. The whole family unhappy and frustrated, unable to understand children's decisions, or the whole family is divided with a parent and child on each side of the split. Reconciliation comes up here, finances and career, and also chemistry separately from that. Around the twins or how they're seen is reflection or the Hermit. The High Priestess, secret, present to the gift of the moment, or psychic abilities are the gift, and home returning from travels with the Ten of Pentacles, family, business, or community. And the King of Pentacles, who may have gifted this to you. But obviously the King of Pentacles with the Ten of Pentacles is a well-off man with a well-off family. It doesn't necessarily mean they're emotionally happy, but they're very comfortable. And they are both cards are upright here. And it also could be a legacy that's been left to the children. So Virgo upright, Pisces upright, Cancer reversed, and Earth family here. The block for the twins being the Knight of Swords reversed, not passing 5D messages. The Knight of Pentacles reversed, stuck. And the Knight of Swords reversed, dumping emotional attachments, no longer confused, and offering a new life of contentment or holding their tongue about how they spend their money. Personal growth, and this could be a change in the way people deal with things. So people who used to brag about their money or talk about the things they've bought now is learning to not speak about these things. And it could be vice versa as well. Personal growth comes up and forgiveness, but even more so here, communication and happy ending. The Knight of Pentacles reversed with no movement at all, avoiding a disaster or after sudden events or an epiphany, and Scorpio reversed, resting, thinking, or stuck without a job, now receiving an offer, ending the conflict about codependency, boredom, and or surrender. Time to experience the shadow side, thinking about leading the way for the Knight of Swords reversed to approach the one who is suffering in silence, who's crying or purging or stressed or sad. Alone at night, without the Ten of Pentacles, family, business, or community, even though the worst is now over, and grounding and integrating, or the worst is over regarding the boredom part, the grounding and integrating, of the upside down world that we've all been through this past year, or the Divine Feminine in the 5D, and the Knight of Wands upright with a slow burn, stretching and growing from frog to prince, juggling and performing atop Mount Everest, or practicing on a bed. And that could be someone, I was seeing someone like standing on their bed and practicing their routine, that kind of thing. The King of Pentacles in justice of surrendering their choice and manifestation, dumping a load on the Hierophant, the Queen of Wands reversed. Patient in transition through the portal in separation and reflection, offering new life or time, money, and effort with no passion in return. The challenge being the Page of Swords and negative talk, lies and rumors, and foolishness. With the Knight of Swords reversed, always arguing, codependency on the shadow web, being alone to rest and think, meditating or kids on their phones and online with the Ten of Pentacles upright and the Ten of Swords reversed, bliss of the Divine Feminine in the 5D with the Knight of Wands chilling out, finally atop Mount Everest or retirement to play and entertain. The Alchemist offering a new life to recover from exile, transition without a sex life or a creative block, challenged by the Page of Swords reversed, negative perspective, and the shadow web, which that can just reference kids who are on their phones or computers all the time and never come out of their rooms. The Three of Swords, ship searching at night in separation, as well as stormy and dark, lacking faith in reflection. The Hermit upright, holding back an announcement, to rest and think, to contemplate and meditate. With the Ten of Pentacles, family, business, or community, bliss, and the cycle that's almost done. The Knight of Wands, stretching and growing to juggle together. And that could be an act that's coming together. So someone's practicing to do an act with someone else. So that was the read. And I wanted to bring up the Frog to Prince was funny too, because at the ceremony we did when we spread my parents' ashes, I pulled cards for everyone from my animal spirit deck. And it was really funny. My brother and my sister-in-law, we pulled cards twice, because I pulled them in the beginning for my mom and dad, and then the rest of the cards followed for the circle. And then I allowed them each to pick their own cards, so they each got 2 cards. But my brother and his wife, on those different shuffles, they both got the Wolf, but she, along with the Wolf, got the Star, and he, along with the Wolf, got the Frog, the Frog to Prince. So it was really funny about their dynamic between the Frog to Prince and then, the wife being the Star. So them learning to compromise and meet in the middle. So again, the solar plexus and the merging of polarities is very much in the focus right now. So we're going to pull some oracle cards. Let's see what's going on here. All right. I guess we're going to go to the animal spirit deck first, since that's what I was just talking about. And then I have to give you a Journey of Love card, because we haven't done that for you in a while. Okay, so from the animal spirit cards, all right, for the animal spirit deck, for the twin flames, what do we need to know walking away from this read? What is our takeaway from this read? What is our takeaway from this read? I'm sorry if you can hear my son. He's being kind of loud in his room, but I don't think you can hear him. So we have the eagle. Oh, the bald eagle. I forgot to tell you about the bald eagle too. But we have the scorpion here too. You notice they're both in the same position and direction and coloring. Look at that. But very different at the same time. And look at that. All 3 with the same coloring. Wow, pretty significant there. So I'm going to read you all 3 of these cards, or at least give you the energy behind them. They all have the lower chakra energies, right? The red, orange to gold, or yellow, which we're talking about the solar plexus right now. And they're all in the same direction. But you notice the shape of their bodies are very similar as well, in the way that they're positioned here. So let's see what comes up with that. By the way, the black egg is at the bottom, which is all about the throat chakra and the truth, which goes in line with our read today, since the Page of Swords was very significant here, right? Shining your light, speaking your truth. And let's see here. So first is the eagle. So first of all, in Bend, Oregon, there's bald eagles all over the place. There's actually a picture I took. You can't really see the eagles up close, but they were there on the post when we were watching the little surfing waves that were man-made. But again, I told you about the bald eagles in my harmonic egg meditation. They were the first energies that came into my meditation. So the eagle being very significant. And of course, that the eagle and the hawk are both air, and the scorpion is fire here. So why is the scorpion between the eagle and the hawk? Because they seem very similar, but the scorpion's a bit different there, and they have a stinger on them. So the eagle is all-pervading power, truth seeker, and transforms karma. So here the eagle is paralleling the truth of the egg, the black egg. All-pervading power, truth seeker, transforms karma. The noble eagle emanates the light of the sun. This great bird is both physically and spiritually strong and represents mastery over the elements of fire and air. When the eagle appears, you'll soon be thrown into the karmic fire for the sake of your own transformation. The eagle pushes us to be our best and brightest selves and stops at nothing to see us shine. Grasp the sun in your talons and hold on for the ride. You are stronger than you think, eagle child. So when the eagle's in balance, they're bright, radiant, and challenges. When they're out of balance, they're controlling. And to bring them back into balance, step into the unknown. right? Because we always feel that fear when the unknown comes up. And so the best thing to do is just step right into it. It's like, you know, jumping into the water when you're afraid to go into the water when it's cold or when you've never swum before or swam. All right, so I'm going to read you the hawk first before the scorpion, since we're in the air signs here. And the hawk is just before the eagle, so they're both the last two in the air signs, which they elevate as they go. So the hawk is watchful, all-seeing messenger of divinity. The sharp eyes of the hawk watch our every move. This keen-eyed bird has the ability to see every little detail as well as the bigger picture. When this card appears, fate has its eyes on you, and the winds are shifting. It is said that the hawk carries news upon its wings and is sent from divinity itself to deliver it. The message should not be taken lightly. Though it may seem small or insignificant, it will eventually redirect your whole course. So again, there's very significant energies between the hawk and the eagle. So the hawk is more about the divinity and the eagle more about the truth. So it's like the two perspectives of the bridge, right? The 3D gate holder and the 5D gate holder. Like the eagle were the masculine at the 3D gate and the hawk being the feminine at the 5D gate. And, you know, balancing the two. So when they're in balance, they see clearly and they're intuitive. When they're out of balance, they see too much and may become suspicious. To bring back into balance, a perspective shift. So just the feminine needs to shift their perspective, or if the masculine's experiencing their feminine, the same. And then for the feminine to just jump into the unknown if she's in her masculine energy. And same for the masculine if he's in the masculine energy. So then we have the scorpion. So why is the scorpion between the two? So let's see where the scorpion is. And of course, scorpion's kind of low on the totem pole here. Scorpion's not first though. First is the fire ant, right? Because that's like a fight, a group angry session there. Fire ant, hyena, and then scorpion. The scorpion is passionate, competitive, and tends towards isolation. The scorpion is a passionate and determined creature. Their career is very important to them, as are a few select friends. Sometimes the scorpion's heat festers and they focus on an unresolved event from the past, usually a situation where they were left feeling burned. The scorpion card says it's time to come clean about your feelings so everyone can heal and you can get back to your usual fiery but fun self. So again, the scorpion has something to say that may affect the hawk and the eagle. And the eagle appearing already was saying that it may cause a little bit of drama there. And then we have the scorpion next to him with their stinger out. So the eagle may be more affected by the scorpion's message than the hawk, because the hawk is staying in their intuition and able to see a new perspective, where the eagle has to jump into the unknown. So that's very interesting. So when the scorpion's in balance, they're wild and free and fierce. When they're out of balance, they're jealous, resentful, and unresolved. To bring back into balance, honesty and forgiveness. So again, scorpion can reflect Scorpio, since it is that Scorpio energy. Okay, and then two air signs, the eagle and the hawk. So that could be two air sign people, literally, which would be, you know, Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius. But it's all about the truth, because we're the black egg. So that's the message from the Animal Spirit book. And before I go to the Journey of Love, I'm going to pull from my Starseed deck, my Starseed Oracle deck that I just got. And I got this in Bellingham, Washington. And this is much more of a galactic deck, so it brings in a nice contrast to my other decks. They're very slippery though. All right, let's see what comes up with the galactic deck here. What is our message from the galactic realms? Is there something we need to know about the underwater bases? Oh, and 2 cards just popped when I said that. All right, so the bottom of the deck is the Cosmic Calibrator, Universal Attunement, Repatterning, and Guidance. This is the underlying energy. the cosmic calibrator. So again, rebalancing something, aligning something that weighs something else. Making sure your equipment works properly, you know, like getting those regular checks on your equipment. Like you can imagine, like at a hospital, it's very important to calibrate the equipment on a regular basis to make sure the results are correct, right? Because there's life or death situations. So this is the cosmic calibrator, universal attunement, repatterning, and guidance regarding that, on how to repattern, right? When you're breaking your old patterns, how to repattern, what new patterns to go into. So the cards that came up together for you are harmonic oscillator. That's a beautiful card. Timing, rhythm, synchronization, and frequency. So it's explaining this. So this is very important for your new patterns. Timing, rhythm, synchronicity, and frequency. So again, resonation. What resonates with you? Harmonic oscillator. And then that's number 39, which is the Knight of Cups, which is being love. And by the way, the underlying card was 38, which is the Queen of Cups. And the Queen of Cups and the Knight of Cups are often represented as the twins. Okay. So then we have the seal of fulfilled transformation, alchemy, metamorphosis, and karmic completion. So again, the alchemy of merging polarities to the center, the solar plexus, and metamorphosis is the transformation of karmic completion, ending karma around the world and now having instant manifestation instead, okay, as we elevate our vibrations. So again, in reformatting our patterns and what good patterns to go into, remembering what resonates with you as the harmonic oscillator and being love, and the seal of fulfilled transformation, knowing you're sealed, so don't be afraid. You have your transformation's already there. You know, you're already sealed as the divine feminine. The alchemy, metamorphosis, the karmic completion. We just discussed the 4D bridge around the world being completed and sealed. The transformation is there. It's just a matter of the rest of the collective following suit. Okay? Because it's a free will planet. You have to choose this. If you haven't chosen that, then you can't experience that. And that's number 12, which is the Hangman and seeing new perspectives. Just all you have to do is shift the way you see things. It's not that someone else can't understand what you understand. It's that they have to choose to see that perspective, to choose to understand. It's always your choice. Okay, so again, if you want to see those pictures, they may give you some kind of activation there. Okay. And then we have, so you notice that's 38, 39 of the Queen of Cups and the Knight of Cups, and then the Hangman, the 12. And seeing new perspectives. All right, so now from Journey of Love, I want to pull up two. Let's see, the 38 and 39, since I have the book here. So 38, the Cosmic Calibrator, is universal attunement, repattering guidance. The element is ether, moldavite, tektite, and fluorite. I love fluorite. All chakras. Planets are Saturn and Uranus and Saturn both came up today with the die, right? Because we had Uranus and then Capricorn came up, which is Saturn, and the zodiac sign Aquarius. So all of those things came up today. This designs, attunes, aligns, and calibrates one to the new, constantly incoming cosmic energies, repatterning the chakras and etheric fields to facilitate gradual shifts in consciousness and to more easily adjust to these other shifts, guiding one along the changing paths. It also opens and activates galactic and astrological codes, connecting one more fully to personal as well as universal paradigms and processes. The cosmic shifts are clearing outside obsolete patterns and replacing them with more universal ones. Your internal guidance is being recalibrated to assist you in making more loving and benevolent choices. Okay, that's 38. And the 39, the harmonic oscillator, involves timing, rhythm, synchronization, as we talked about, and frequency. The elements are air and water, and the crystals are Super 7 quartz and auralite. The chakras, the heart, high heart, and throat. And again, speaking your truth was very important today. Planets, Mercury and the rings of Saturn. And Mercury was coming up major too with the Page of Swords. And then zodiac signs, Gemini, Pisces, and Aquarius. Okay, and there's 2 of the 3 air signs right there, along with Pisces, and the water signs came up today too. This image enhances harmonic structures and connections, synchronizing one's rhythms and timings using frequency, sound, and color, inspiring one to heal and express through music, as it's a powerful energy for aligning synchronicities and opening channels for clairaudience and synesthesia. Triggering abilities to sense and see vibrations and waveforms, and to work with them in coherent, intuitive ways. The rhythms and timings are synchronizing to create the highest outcomes. So the music is supposed to help you align with your synchronicities more and open your clairaudience, so hearing. And I'm not sure of the definition of I want to say anesthesia, but it's synesthesia, S-Y-N, aesthesia. Or synesthesia. So I don't know if it has to do with the sine wave or synchronicities, but triggering abilities to sense and see vibrations and waveforms and to work with them in coherent, intuitive ways. And then the 12 being the seal of fulfilled transformation. The symbolism is alchemy, metamorphosis, karma, and completion. The elements are fire and earth. The crystals are zincite and sulfur. The chakras being the root, sacrum, solar plexus, and heart. The planets Mars, Saturn, and Pluto, and the zodiac signs Aries, Capricorn, and Scorpio. This seal provides an alchemical fire, fueling one's efforts in working toward karmic completions and spiritual transformation by burning off the unnecessary dross and attachments related to past or current entanglements, urging one to resolve these ongoing issues and reach a point of enlightenment culmination whereby only the pure radiant spirit remains. So again, anything that's unresolved, resolving it so that it can be let go. Transformation will come from a willingness to change and resolve the relevant issues through perseverance. Okay, so very significant there. And that perfectly aligns with the two birds, the eagle and the hawk, and this scorpion in between. So resolving unresolved issues. So now from the journey of love, okay, what is our takeaway from the journey of love today? One card, please. Okay, eruption of light. Look at that, it's Hieros. Number 11, again, justice, truth, and balance is the Hieros. And we're going to read that for you. We have the next cards, just so you see, is 58, which is beauty, making sure to get your beauty rest there. And acceptance, 55, the truth, again, Excalibur, acceptance of the truth. And again, in this beautiful place, in the alchemical forest. It's in the rest of the meditation, the 5D connection, that you can receive acceptance here, the truth, because the truth is in your meditative state, the 5D. The bottom of the deck is the swan, very pure. And actually the Paramahamsa the swan was the second thing in my harmonic egg experience. First was the bald eagle and then the swan. So the purity of the swan here, very black and white, the Knight of Pentacles, the loyal, humble servant, who just keeps going no matter what. And let's go ahead and read the eruption of light, number 11. Your every prayer is a power-packed eruption of light beamed into the divine presence. Some pray with fear or doubt, as though the prayer is not doing much at all. Yet you understand that prayer is powerful, that it is divine action set in motion. Your power of divine prayer emerges from your heart and out through your throat. Whether you speak or sing your prayer silently or within your own mind, or aloud for all the world to hear, let your prayers be vocalized as feeling expressed to the divine in words or song if you choose. You have the power to heal at your fingertips and vocal cords, and by the way, through your eyes as well. Through your voice you can heal. Let your hands be joined in prayer position at your heart, and open mouth to let the breath of your spirit move through your throat, creating sound. As you speak it, so shall it be. This oracle holds a message for you. Your words have more power than you may realize, and you have a special ability to heal with words, to bring light where it is needed, and to uplift through simple kindness spoken. You also have a message to bring. It might be an urge to write or speak on topics that are close to your heart. You may also simply have the need at a soul level to share from the heart with others when you are engaged in conversations. The Oracle says your voice is a part of your power. Do use it. And it simply states, life begins with love. To complete itself again, symmetry is born. And that's where we will end it. So make sure you drink your water, get your rest, get your joy, get your nature, be true to yourself. And as always, rise and be love, guys. I will see you soon. Have an amazing, amazing day. Bye.